Alright, so I just watched a movie called Fireheart. It is a movie, some kind of action movie about a girl in the early 1900s who wants to become a firefighter. Let's see, characters. Uh, there is Georgia Nolan, the main character. She is the daughter of, forgot his first name, but Mr. Nolan or Captain Nolan, depending on which scene he is. Uh, she is the daughter of him. He used to be a firefighter. She's inspired by him and wants to become a firefighter herself. But then she's told early on in her life that she can't be a firefighter because she's a woman, because it's the early 1900s and they were like that. So then she becomes a seamstress. But then, later on, there's a mysterious arsonist that's attacking theaters in Broadway. And she wants to become a firefighter to stop the arsonist and finally prove to her dad and everyone else that she can be a firefighter even if she's a woman. Okay? Let's see. She poses as a man named Joe. She fashions her own costume. She uses mangoes to make shoulder pads and uses hair from her dog in order to make a fake mustache that somehow never falls off, even though if you've seen those novelty fake mustaches, they peel off really, really fast after wearing them for a bit. Like, really easily, they peel off. But anyways, that's besides the point. So, apparently, the arsonist, every time firefighters go inside the building, they don't come back out. So they're short on firefighters, so they're desperate and hire new people to become firefighters. People that don't seem very qualified. There's a man who is very good at chemistry, but is super scared and fearful and always quantifies things in percentages. Him saying that there's a 75% chance that this will happen, and there's a 3% chance that this will happen. I forget most of their names. There's a guy that is somehow narcoleptic, but also a cab driver, and also a minor. I think he's 16 or something. Why would they hire kids? Why would they hire high schoolers to be firefighters, even in the early 1900s? Anyway, so Captain Nolan comes out of retirement as a firefighter to become, a firefighter to stop the arsonist. He trains the new recruits, which include Georgia, disguised as Joe, the narcoleptic cab driver, and the cowardly scientist guy. And they trained for a bit. They go to a theater that's under fire, and they stop the fire. The arsonist, I like the intro. The arsonist is a really cool design, I think, but it doesn't belong in the movie. the arsonist is like really smoky and like, as in like they're covered in smoke. The arsonist is covered in smoke with red glowing eyes and plays a very operatic music. And I'm thinking, what? Like, very gothic, operatic music is playing, and this arsonist is like, looks like a smoke monster or a smoke ghost. Just a ghost made out of smoke. And what's even weirder is that uh, somehow the smoke is different colors than it should be. The fire's purple, the smoke's pinkish purple and stuff. There's no, like, this does not fit early 1900s. This fits like a Marvel movie or something. Like, they just wrote a Marvel villain to be in a movie about firefighters in like 1912 or something. Or 1920s, firefighters. That doesn't make sense. But anyways, they after the fire, they analyze it. Somehow, also, the fire burns cold. Like, it burns things and chars them and vaporizes them. As in, the second you touch something that the fire's engulfed, it turns to dust. And I'm like, how is that? How is that? How does that work? It burns cold. Like, it doesn't hurt when you touch it, but it somehow turns things to dust? How does that work? Tell me, please. Anyone, tell me. How does that work? I don't have the time to research it on my own because I don't want to Google for like 40 minutes fire that burns cold. But anyways, they find out that the arsonist likes to perform and stuff, very thematic and dramatic and stuff, like sees the whole burning buildings thing as a theater show. They play music, they throw colorful smoke everywhere. They're super dramatic in their entrances and exits. Like, theater kid, stuff. Super dramatic. And they find out that they found one of the smoke bombs at or the fire balls that the arsonist uses. It's full, according to the scientist, cowardly guy. It's full of gunpowder and dynamite, or a mixture of that. But it somehow creates purple smoke and fire that burns cold. And the glass is unbreakable unless you play a certain tone. Which is why the arsonist uses music along with the fireballs. If you play a certain musical tone, the glass shatters and causes a fire. And I don't know how that works. And also, when the music plays, it emits light. Again, how is this supposed to work? This is like Marvel stuff, It doesn't belong. It also hypnotizes people. I forgot to say that. Somehow, it also hypnotizes people and puts them in a trance. How does that work? Tell me, were they just making up the rules or something? I know that you can have anything you want in a movie, but there has to be a suspension of disbelief here, there has to be a little bit of a suspension of disbelief. I can't just somehow believe in this movie that there is an arsonist that appears as a smoke monster that throws fireballs that blow up when a certain tone of music plays, and what it leaves behind is cold fire that somehow vaporizes anything that it touches, except for people, I guess. I don't know. It never got burned by it. None of the characters ever got burned by it. So, anyways, they go... Oh, I forgot to introduce some more characters. There's the mayor, which is a friend of Captain Nolan. There's a police captain that always speaks in a falsetto voice. I don't know why. Like, he does not look like... the character design does not look like he would speak in a falsetto voice. The voice does not match the character at all. It sounds ridiculous. He sounds like one of those castrato singers. If you don't know, castrato was a type of opera singer that was where they would have people castrated before they would go into puberty, giving them their boy voice so that they could sing an opera with their young voice, even when they're older. And the practice is banned. Thank goodness the practice is banned, but still. This guy speaks in a super high-pitched voice. There's also a theater performer who is super sassy and doesn't give a crap about what other people say. There's a crooked mayor who only cares about being reelected and would sell out his mother if it would get him reelected. And then there's Pauline. I remember her name. Pauline is the assistant to the theater performer woman. She's overworked and stressed out, things like that. Anyways, they do some investigating. There's some leads that makes Georgia think that the mayor is the arsonist, and there are also some leads that makes her think that the theater performer is the arsonist. But they all turn out to be red herrings. The theater performer is in love with the mayor, and they just want to live in secret. They just want their love to be secret, And I did think it was the captain of the police, I did think it was the police captain in the falsetto voice because he loves the theater performer, and I felt like that was a front for something. And he's always... I always say he's always at... I said he's always at the scene of the crime, but of course he is. He's a cop, but still. I did think it was him for a bit. No one else saw it was him, probably because it wasn't him. So the arsonist turns out to be Pauline. She pretends to die in a fire, and after that, Captain Nolan tells Georgia, disguised as Joe, that he tried to save a couple from a house fire, but the couple died before he could get to him. and that sometimes bad things happen and you just have to let it go. And that was after Pauline faked her death. Okay. Anyways, they try to catch the mayor and the stage show performer in the act. Not like that. They try to catch the mayor in the act of being the arsonist, but they find out he's been secretly eloping with the stage performer. And they also stumble upon a new lead that leads them to where all the missing firefighters are. Somehow, there's no, like, leading, there's no, like, it's like they just stumbled across it. It wasn't found naturally enough, like, like, it could have been handled better, finding the new lead and all that, instead of just stumbling across it. Oh, what good luck that there happens to be a firefighter helmet on the tracks of this subway. Wow. Good thing none of the firefighters dropped their hats as they were being led to the arsonist's secret lair. You know? Good thing. Anyways, they go to the arsonist's secret lair, and they find out that the arsonist was a chemist, which doesn't explain it. Doesn't explain it well enough. Like, they graduated from a school of chemistry. Like, okay, but it still doesn't explain all these crazy things that are going on. Like how the fire burns cold, or how it hypnotizes people, or how it makes the smoke pink and the fire purple, and how those simple chemicals of TNT and gunpowder make it into a firebomb that burns cold, and how she made glass that is unbreakable unless you play a certain musical note. Anyways, then it turns out that Pauline, like, she reveals herself, she hypnotizes Captain Nolan and traps him in a room full of smoke. She tells Georgia that she's mad that guys are ruling the world or something, and that she's been, she's mad that she wasn't able to pursue her dreams of becoming an actress or a performer, and that had the men of the world, didn't allow her to become that. Even though there's a female actress or stage performer who's black, like, it's not the problem that they were too prejudiced to allow her to become a stage performer like she wanted. It's that she wasn't good enough to be a stage performer. She's a chemist. She was a chemist. She didn't go to a theater school or anything. Who knows? Maybe she's terrible at acting and singing and everything, but she just blamed it on men because that was easy. Like, if they could allow a black woman to become a stage performer, they can allow her to become one too. Like, and Pauline, she's a skinny white girl. You know? I'm not saying like, I'm not saying like, I'm not saying she's bad because of that. I'm saying that, usually those types of people get ahead in life better because everyone likes them, and they take advantage of the inherent appeal. I'm not sexist or racist or anything. I know it kind of sounds bad, but I'm not. Anyways, so Georgia tells her dad that she was Joe all along, and Captain Nolan is like, but you can't be a firefighter. You can't be a firefighter. You too delicate. And then she's mad at him for being still prejudiced after her proving herself by finding out who the arsonist is and stuff. And then, like, and then, like, she finds out that he, like, doesn't actually think that she can't be a firefighter. She can. He just used the women can't be firefighters argument so that he could keep her safe from doing a dangerous job. He just used that as an excuse because I guess he's afraid of telling her his real feelings. I don't know why. He could have just said that he didn't want her to be in danger and to be in super dangerous situations where she could kill herself, and that she means the world to him and stuff. Instead, he had to, pretend it's a gender thing. So, yeah, he was afraid of her getting hurt because then he reveals this. The couple that he failed to save from the house fire before was actually George's parents. Whoa, plot twist. Came out of left field there. They had the couple had a kid and they managed to pass the baby through the crack in the wall that Captain Nolan wasn't able to get through somehow before they died in a fire. And Captain Nolan raised the child from then on. And I'm like, are there no family, friends, or anything? Are there no extended family? Did Georgia not have an aunt or an uncle or grandparents or anything? No, they just gave the orphan baby to the firefighter who saved her. 1920s were a weird time, huh? I guess firefighters can keep and raise kids that they save from fires, huh? But anyways, she proves that she can handle herself. Then he's okay with it, I guess, after they talked it out and stuff. So she saves him and all that. Then they go and defeat the arsonist. The arsonist's plan, Pauline's plan, is to go on top of the Empire State Building, which is still under construction, and they called it the Chrysler Building because, 1920s. And her plan is to drop like hundreds, thousands of firebombs like all across the city and use her music to burn the city down. To stick it to those men who didn't allow her to become a stage performer. Even though she probably would have gotten a really cushy job as a chemist. She could have had a really, really good job as a chemist If she had just went into chemistry, she could have had a really, really nice job. And, you know, instead she wanted to be a stage performer where she probably wasn't experienced at all. And then she blamed men for all her shortcomings. And then she decided to go on this huge revenge plot. So, Georgia gets to the top of the building by hitching a ride on the workers' elevator that goes up to the top of the Chrysler building. She pulls the plug of Pauline's keytar. That's right, she has a keytar in the 1920s. 1920s. She has a keytar and has fire bombs that do not make sense, that do not behave like fire, even though they look like fire. I don't know how that works whatsoever. She should have been in a superhero movie that takes place in like 2030 something. Not in a movie about the 1920s. He's like about firemen in the 1920s, you know? So, Georgia stops Pauline. Pauline almost falls off the Chrysler building, but Georgia grabs her by the ankle to stop her falling. The other firefighters, the narcoleptic taxi driver, and the cowardly scientist guy, they managed to get to the Chrysler building along with Captain Nolan. They stop the arsonist, Pauline, and then they all get medals of honor from the mayor. The end. And then the credits section shows like a whole bunch of women that were firefighters in the 1980s. And I was like, what? What? That's 1980s, not 1920s. And then, oh man, I haven't even gotten to the part yet. So I looked on IMDb and I found that it was 6.1 out of 10. Well, of course. And then I also found out that in the trivia section, there is a real first woman firefighter. I don't know if she is the very first woman who became a firefighter. All I know is that she's one of the first women who became a firefighter. Her name was Molly Williams. MOLLYWILLIEMS. Molly Williams. She was a former slave that then became a firefighter. And I'm like, if the movie is about a woman being, the first ever female firefighter, then why is it not about Molly Williams? Oh, I know why. It's because children can't handle harsh topics like slavery. Children can't understand what slavery is. Children don't want to see a movie about the first female firefighter. Let's just make up a character for the first female firefighter. Let's just make up a character for that. We don't have to look at actual female firefighters. No, we can't have that. We can't have a historical movie about the first woman firefighter. No. We have to make up a character Okay, so I also read a bunch of a bunch of reviews saying that it's got an agenda. Uh, well, yeah, all films have an agenda of some kind. It's just not always political. Some films are always protect the environment, like Avatar or Ferngully. Those films have an agenda. You know, their whole agenda is protect the environment. Then there's also movies like Nine, and also and also I guess My Little Pony. I haven't watched My Little Pony, that newer movie, but I guess the message is war is bad. Don't do war. You know, and all films have an agenda of some kind. It's just not always political. It's not always about equality for women. It's not always about that. But still, all films have a message. All films have an agenda of some kind. I think it's unfairly treated like that. I think that, well, since the villain is a woman, I guess it can exclude that from the whole empower her, like, the whole, like, all women good, all men bad thing, that so many other movies do, like 2016 Ghostbusters, or, you know, ones like that. It's not like a terrible movie. It's not even a bad movie. Um, the animation is competently done. I like the animation. It's good. It's not bad animation. I also like the initial concept. A girl who's inspired by her father to become a firefighter, and the father is afraid of her getting hurt. That concept's been done a bunch of times with a bunch of different characters and archetypes, and I like it, you know? And, like, I think some of it is a bit off. Like, some of the things don't make sense, like having a narcoleptic cab driver, or a Marvel villain instead of like a different kind of villain that seems more realistic. Like, you could never be a woman with the same motive. Just why with all the sci-fi tech, you know? I know she's a smart woman, but still, it's not like this is the 1920s. Even smart women in the 1920s didn't figure out how to make fire bombs that burn cold, or keytars. She had to make that by herself. There's no way. An electric keytar in the 1920s. I can't get past it. I can't get past it. Why does she have an electric keytar in the 1920s? Why does she have a suit that produces smoke constantly? Somehow, where does all the smoke come from? Does she siphon it from the air? What if, there's not a lot of smoke in the air where she's at? How does she keep it all around her? how does the smoke form around her body? It should look more like an amorphous blob rather than a person made of gas or a smoke in the shape of a person. It shouldn't look like that. You know, I can see why it got a 6.1 on IMDb. It's not bad, but it's not exceptional either. Like, it's not the best movie ever, you know? And I feel like some people have a problem with the way characters are being handled and all that. I can see that. I can see why people are thinking that it's just another feminazi film where the girl can do no wrong and all the men are evil, but it's not that. It's not that. She learns just as much as her dad. Her dad learns that she's not fragile and that she can handle herself and that she makes a really awesome firefighter and that he doesn't have to be worried about her safety. And then she learns how to be a good firefighter. She learns not to be so brash with every single step, not to run headlong into a situation where she can't win. She learns that. She learns how to be more patient and how to be a better firefighter. More patient, decisive, actual qualities that make a good firefighter. She's brave, yes, but she runs into situations without preparing. Then, once she gets taught by her dad on how to be a good firefighter, she makes good decisions. She's a strong female character, yes, but she isn't so strong that she has no flaws like a Mary Sue. And the other characters have flaws, yes, but they aren't portrayed like they're bad or incompetent. Well, except for the beginning. Dr. Paz, why are you standing on the table? Well, I guess you're a cat, so, I guess you have no reason other than you want to sit on the table. But anyways, they're not incompetent. Except for the first part when they are, because they don't know how to be a firefighter. It works. I just have some problems with it. Like IMDb, I give it a 6 out of 10. I think it's a good movie. It's a perfectly fine kids film. I like the music. I really do. I especially like the music that the arsonist plays whenever she wants to start a firebomb. That's some really cool, operatic music that sounds like it came straight from Phantom of the Opera or something. The music's cool. The CGI or animation is good. Competent, really good. The characters aren't all bad. They all have believable, motivations and stuff. Wind's making me tear up. They all have believable motivations. They all have something to them. Except maybe the other two firefighters that were being trained, the the chemist, cowardly guy, and the narcoleptic cab driver. They're kind of more comic relief, but still. Like, perfectly fine film. Give it a 6 out of 10. Jeez, has it been going for 40 minutes? Oh my god. Oh my god, I had no idea this has been going for 40 minutes. 6 out of 10. Okay movie. Not great, but not bad either. Okay, bye.